everyone's going to be going through these sites. And that's why I've been really bullish for the last couple of months, because I think that that's going to be huge from revenge buying and people trying to just feel normal. Even if they don't book shit, they just want to feel like they're going to do it. Let's talk cruise lines. This is a lot of people. I get this question a lot, so I think it's a good time to answer it. The question is cruise lines, are cruise lines a good idea to buy? Well, I think we all know that cruise lines will eventually come back, but the problem is how long does that take to come back? How long, and what are the challenges that are being faced right now by that? Will cruise lines come back? Sure, at some time. When will they come back? Who knows, but here's the problem. Now, first thing you're gonna wanna think of is, Stocky, this looks like easy money. These things are down 50%. That's easy money. We know cruises are gonna come back after COVID. They will. But let's talk about the reasons why it's a little bit dangerous to buy right now. Now, if you buy now and you're looking for 5 years down the road, sure. Makes sense, right? There's money to be made there. Can you make more money in other sectors that are actually coming out a lot quicker? Absolutely. But maybe you just want to buy, right? Let's talk about a couple things. Number one, divvy cuts. All right, divvy cuts hurt. A lot of them cut their divvies. CCL used to have a massive dividend. They cut their divvy, right? Because they can't afford to pay out a divvy right now. They're bleeding cash like crazy. But this is all stuff that is right now, right? So this is kind of like, Stocky, we know this stuff. This is part of, what's happening now. We're not looking at now. We're looking at the future. Exactly. What are the problems with the future? Number one is cruise season. Okay, what is cruise season? Cruise season generally, especially for Royal Caribbean and ones that do the Northern Hemisphere, it is between November and March. Okay, that's where they make about 90% of their revenue. Okay, 90% of their revenue. All right, can't do it during the summer because there's fucking hurricanes and shit. But this is where about 90% of their revenue comes from. This is when they go all around the Caribbean and Mexico and the Pacific, the whole 9 yards, right? Wiped out. Norwegian just extended their cruise again, right? So you've got COVID. Obviously, COVID is the number one reason for all these problems. Now, number two, CDC. The CDC is basically the law when it comes to can they dock and port in the U.S. And the CDC, for most of the part, has been like, nah, fam, you can't dock here if you've got people on board. They've got to be tested. It's a long process. Number three, fear. Okay, you remember the Princess Cruise thing in Japan? And everybody was stuck on that thing forever? There you go. Exactly. Okay? They got stuck. People are afraid of getting stuck on a boat again. All right? There were people that got put on a boat that got docked right outside of Japan, and they were stuck there for a month on board. And there were horror stories coming out. If you didn't upgrade to a balcony, you were screwed. You were in the belly of the ship. Okay? You were in the belly of the ship, and they came and got you and let you on the top for 1 hour a day. For fresh air. And then you went back into your cabin and sat there. Plumbing got backed up, electricity was bad, Wi-Fi went down. A month stuck on that. It wasn't until our president went and evacuated these people did they get off. So there's fear there. On top of that, what happens if we get out of COVID long enough that there's herd immunity and everybody is vaccinated? Let's say perfect timing. It happens and somehow everyone is vaccinated and somehow we get herd immunity and the CDC allows them and they're going to cruise by November, right? What if there's a new strain? Well, I guarantee you the world is going to be a lot more proactive this time around than last time. So if there's even a hint of a new strain or a resistant strain or a mutated strain, they are going to shut shit down. And anything that cruise lines make is gone. All right? Now, there's several other factors that come into play, but is there money to be made in the short term? That I think there is. Why are we seeing cruise lines move today? Anybody know? Vaccine news. 7-day rolling average, 1.6 million people being vaccinated. Okay? Giving hope. Also, new report coming out of Israel stating that of the 600,000 people vaccinated with both doses, 94% drop in symptomatic cases. Also, stimulus is moving along. Now, why do I say that there's potential for the short term for cruises? Because the same reason, this is just my opinion, before anybody goes in, well, actually, Stocky, listen, don't actually me, okay? Everybody's fucking guessing just like you, okay? Shut up. All right, why do I think that there's some short-term potential there? Because the same reason I like Expedia and TRVG over the past couple weeks, and that is revenge buying. What is revenge buying? Revenge buying is everybody is cooped up. Everybody wants to get the fuck out of the house. Everybody wants to go live again. And the second that we get herd immunity or vaccinations at a global scale, and the fact that cruise lines allow bookings to happen, there is going to be a flurry of people that are going to either try to book or book. Kind of like with theaters, right? People want to get the hell out of the house. They want to travel. They want to go. And they're going to be dumb enough to forget all about COVID and all about the other stuff. And there will probably be a momentary spike, okay, in cruise lines. Just like with airlines. It's better with airlines, but cruise lines are there too. Okay? Kind of like what we've been seeing with Expedia. I think the real money on revenge buying is going to be travel agencies. I've been saying this for months. Because regardless of if people actually go on these trips, they're going to be going through these sites, Expedia, TRVG, TripAdvisor. They're going to be going through them to look and to book, okay? And that's going to bring them revenue regardless of people actually go on it. Now, what happens is these cruise lines, these hotels, these airlines, and these vacation places are going to be giving huge discounts to just get people to come. They just need people there, right? And so everyone's going to be going through these sites, and that's why I've been really bullish for the last couple of months on Expedia, TRVG, and TripAdvisor, because I think that that's going to be huge from revenge buying and people trying to just feel normal. Even if they don't book shit, they just want to feel like they're going to do it. They've got stimulus money, they've got unemployment money, etc., and they've got time and when they're opening up. So, in my opinion, I wouldn't touch cruise lines. If you want to be speculative in the short term, hoping for good news and them creeping up with vaccine news, great. Just protect yourself on the downside. That is just my opinion on cruise lines overall. Okay? Now, if you're already in and you got in like really cheaply, I guess it wouldn't matter, but talking about for people looking at it. For me, this would be a no. But for speculative investors, there is money in the short term. And when I say short term, I mean like 6 months or less. Airbnb. Okay, so here's my thing with Airbnb. Obviously, I'm a speculative investor and trader, so it's a little bit different. But here's what I will say about Airbnb. So, all right, so people are going to be psychologically still freaked out about germs and coughing and COVID and everything for a while. But there's going to be a lot of revenge buying once there's the idea of a herd immunity and people like can go out and travel again. People have been cooped up for a year. They want to get the hell out of the house. They want to go travel. They want to see things. They want to do things. Now, what you're trying to invest in, or at least not you, but what I'm trying to invest in is the future, right? Kind of why we saw Levi's take off. So for those of you guys who are new to the channel, we had the Piper Sandler kids survey or whatever. They do a survey every year, and they talk to a bunch of kids. They round up a bunch of kids, and they round up a bunch of kids. Never mind. They round up a bunch of kids, and they say, hey, listen, take this survey. We want to know what brands that you like. What brands come to mind? What do you wear? What do you use? What do you do? Because people want to invest in the future, right? That's why so many businesses target kids. They want kids. Because they know that if they get kids and they get their brand and those kids in front of them, they stay loyal for a long time, right? They remember it because we all are fond of our childhood. So they started mentioning things like Levi. Everybody was like, what the fuck? Why are kids paying attention to Levi's? Levi's, that was the whole reason I got into Levi's. It ended up taking off, right? Because you're trying to invest in the future. Because when you buy a stock, you don't care about what the price is now. You're investing in it, unless you're swing trading it. You want it to grow. You want the business to grow. You want that business to get money. You need new customers. You need new sources of income. Now, Airbnb, on the other hand, obviously, it's going to be a little interesting to see what happens. Are people going to want to go to the hotels because they know there's professionals cleaning them, or do they want to go to people's houses? Once that's over, though, let me tell you this. Most millennials and Zoomers and whatever generation you want to name them, they're starting to not go to hotels anymore. Okay? They go to Airbnbs. Because here's the thing. Why would I go pay? First of all, millennials are broke. Okay? Most of them are broke. All right? And they're going to be broke. Welcome to the new world, okay? So if they want to travel, they got to get like 2 or 3 people together, right? And they're getting 2 or 3 people together, they travel, they rent out a house or they rent out a room, right? They stay in someone's house for a fraction of the cost because they're going to be out doing stuff. They're going to go out to eat. They're going to go to the beach. They're going to go skiing, wherever they're at. So why would you spend all that money for a fucking bed when you could just do that at someone's house or rent it out? So when you're looking at a generational thing, I can almost guarantee, I can't guarantee, but I can almost guarantee that as we move on and older people go off in the new generations, Airbnb and competitors and whatnot are going to be more prevalent, right? When I travel, I don't touch a hotel. I always stay at Airbnbs. Partly because I used to run hotels, but regardless. And so I think that we're going to see that. Now, the only thing that's the biggest thing for me that hold them back is that you have the hotel unions and industry and lobbyists trying to take out Airbnb, number one, and cities are trying to put more restrictions on them because of all the parties, the COVID, and shootings and all that shit that happened. So I think Airbnb has a huge future. I think it has a huge future. Why don't you like hotels? Now, I don't think hotels are going anywhere. I mean, hotels, you know, from the corporate and business world, hotels will always have a place and people will still like hotels. But I'm just saying, I think that Airbnb and short-term rentals will become a thing that is continuing. That's just my personal thing.